Malachi 3 and 6. For I am Yahweh. I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. I'd like to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash, Thawada Yahweh. Thank you for the elders and the apostles that have taught this truth and continue to teach this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. We're going to jump right into this. The name of this lesson is going to be the wicked attempt to trouble our hand, looking for a way into this truth. So we're going to review Esther 8 and 17. I humbly suggest that you go back and read Esther chapter 1 through 8 to get the full context of what have transpired before Esther 8 and 17, or before this event that we're about to go into. Or this moment. And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for fear of the Jews fell upon them. And so, the heathen and you wicked niggas that support the heathen, they're looking to enter into this truth and say that they can become Jews. By this precept. And so let's go into this. And so we're going to break down both of these words here. We're going to break down became Jews, and then we're going to look at, in the Hebrew, fear of the Jews fell upon them. And so, yes, there are two different definitions. All right? So let's go into this. So, in the Hebrew, became Jews. Let's look at it in the Hebrew here. Yahad. Okay. To become a Jew, in fact or in fraud. And so let's break down in fact and in fraud. Okay. And so to become a Jew in fact. Okay. In that time frame, we were in captivity. Okay. We were in the Persian captivity. And during that captivity, okay, you had of our people, same shit that you can see today around us. There were those that did not embrace our heritage. Okay? They embraced the heritage of the heathen. Okay? And that even includes speaking their language and not speaking our native tongue, which is the Hebrew. Okay? And so, those that became Jews, in fact, just simply means those that are already Jews. Their heritage is Jews. Why? Because their fathers, or by their fathers, their father's lineage can be traced back to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob, who later was renamed Israel. And so, essentially, they embraced who they are. They didn't deny it anymore. Or those that just simply just didn't know. That they were Jews, learned that they were Jews. They learned their heritage and embraced it. Now, to become a Jew in fraud, that's just simply saying that the heathen that we were in captivity amongst became Jews. Okay? In other words, embraced the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. They embraced our culture. They embraced the laws. But they can't become Jews. Because their lineage does not. By their fathers, does not go back to Jacob, Isaac, Abraham. So that's what it's saying when it says in fraud. In other words, they're taking on a heritage that is not their own. In fraud. Okay? And so, moving on, now that we have that understanding there, all right? So let's look up this word, the Jews, in the Hebrew, okay? A Judite, or a Jew, or descendant of Judah. Going back to what I was saying about heritage. And so let's go into this word heritage real quick here. Okay? And so when we go into the online etymology dictionary, okay? And we look up the word heritage, which is a noun, right? And so from the French, that which may be inherited, inheritance, ancestral estate, And so ancestral estate, meaning in this particular context, we're talking about bloodline, right? And so in the Latin, hair, meaning condition or state transmitted from the ancestors. And so how do we transmit ourselves on to the next? By having children. Huh? The children that you bear are your hair. Huh? And not only from a physical perspective, but also from a property perspective as well. Example, your father might pass down to you the house after he leaves the earth. Huh? And so, let's get into a precept here. Amos 3:1. Hear the word that Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only, you only, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Huh? Let's keep going. Let's get another precept here. Woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. We're getting to the point. Listen closely. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Huh? And so we have been oppressed of our heritage, because many of you don't even know that you're Israelites. Huh? And some of you are behaving in the manner that I described earlier and becoming Jews. In fact, moving on. And though even thyself shalt discontinue from thine inheritance that I gave thee, I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Huh? Huh? And so, yes, we have been discontinued from our heritage. Huh? So let's read it again. And though even thyself shalt discontinue from thine inheritance that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies, which we are right now, in the land which thou knowest not. We don't know this place. This ain't our land. We're in captivity. For you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. The point, we're going into this word heritage. Via precepts. Let's keep going. Joel, chapter 3. For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them. In other words, he will judge them, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. Yes, we were. We were scattered to the four corners of the earth. We were scattered amongst all the heathen. And put in various captivities. They rule over us. We're in captivity. Let's read it again. And I will also gather all nations. And I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them. Yes, plead means judge. And so Yahweh's going to judge those nations that had us in captivity. And not had, but have currently. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Moving on. And yes, they have taken our land. We're not from no goddamn Africa. We ran down into Africa to flee from the various captivities. But our home is Israel. That's our home. And they've parted that land amongst themselves. Next precept. And we're going to close this out. Okay? And those of you that can get it, will get it. And those of you who don't, won't. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. And every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh. Hope this was edifying. Thank you for listening. Shalom.